you were high on the Browns and Jets. So I want you to break those all down. Now, today probably won't be a day full of our grades. We'll report on other grades. I think grading is kind of silly. Maybe you're on a different path on that, but that's coming up in 5 minutes. NFL draft. Raiders, I thought, had a productive weekend. Got patted on the back by many, many, many draft experts, as I put those in quotes. So we'll get into the players they drafted. As we talked about last Thursday and Friday, this is one of the most important drafts in Raiders history to turn the corner, start getting Allegiant back to being, or actually being, a home field advantage, shut out the opposing fans. But the way you do that is for Mendoza to be awesome at some point and to win. You got to win. Otherwise, people are going to cash in their tickets and, get their money back for their PSLs, not turn in their tickets, but they're going to get those tickets out on the market and they're going to sell them. And then the venue is going to be filled with 50% opposing fans. So that's coming up in 5 minutes. Let's set the stage for a couple of things. One, the Aces, one of our winning franchises here in town, the Las Vegas Aces, also an MD-owned franchise. Mark Davis owns the Las Vegas Aces. Aces had an exhibition game over the weekend. They have an official exhibition game coming up on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And then the season opens on May 9th and May 10th. And one of the players that you and I didn't get a chance to discuss, Willie and I discussed it. This was one of the things Las Vegas was going to have to do when you sign your top three players to somewhere in that max range. Now, Chelsea Gray didn't get the max, but she got, I think, $999 a season. So you're at $1 million. Jackie Young got $119. You're over $1 million. Of course, the best player in the league, Asia Wilson. She got the max at 1.4. Jewel Lloyd got a big deal as well. That means the roster's top heavy, and that means you have to nail the middle of the team and the bench, and you have to go creative ways to do so. And we talked about this with Kennedy Carter. Again, that's what I was referencing Willie a couple minutes ago. The signing of Kennedy Carter is completely fascinating because we've seen this in sports where you have a person who, in this case, I mean, this is really dramatic. You have a player who the league deemed last year, we can't have you in the league. You're not worth it. But she's a really good player. And maybe with a year to reflect on it and being in a very professional environment, because let's admit it, the Chicago environment, with Angel Reese being the biggest star on the team, that's not a buttoned-up atmosphere. This will be. So it's get it done or maybe be out of the league. Well, she had a nice rolling out of the carpet last night or yesterday.
She was a tremendous player at Texas A&M. I was still in Columbia when she was dominating at Texas A&M. She's always had the ability to really score. That has always been what Kennedy Carter.
She averaged 17 and a half a game with Chicago. The problem is it's all the time that she's been suspended or had to sit out. I mean, she's had issues. She had issues in Chicago. She had issues with the Sparks. We know she can score. Yeah. Frankly, when I saw her signed, I'm like, hey, if they get her right and they want to keep going with Jewel Lloyd as the first guard off the bench, this lady who was out of the league last year may be a starter for the world champions. I don't like saying gift because she's a great player, but that's the opportunity she's been given.
And you know what? If she starts, and you know what? If you're in a scenario where she's probably better off the bench, I would say, because just the way that she plays, and this again dates back to A&M. Yeah. So when you have a ball dominant guard, that's a pretty good player to lead your second unit. And again, the Aces may struggle with depth. You mentioned in the onset where when you're paying three of your top three players, basically seven figures. I know Gray technically is short of it, but let's be real. It's right there. It's seven figures.
Same as the Liberty. They're doing the same thing with their top three players.
And you're paying, and also your fourth player, you're paying Lloyd a big number too. Mm-hmm. So your top four players are getting pretty significant numbers. You're gonna, like you said, this is a pretty good way to get creative with someone who we know always has had the ability to score the rock. Lead your second unit is just a matter of, again, keeping the head on straight. And if Carter is able to do that, boy, that is quite the steal that they could have. I mean, she had 18 last night. She got to the line 9 times. And now, granted, look, the Japanese national team is not a particularly good basketball team, especially in comparison to all these teams in the WNBA. They're worse than all of them for the most part. Maybe 2 or better, or maybe one. That one of the expansion teams is worse. But Kirsten Bell played well yesterday, played well off the bench as well yesterday. So, again, they're going to have to find other pieces off the bench, whether it's, again, the veteran Brianna Turner, who's there as well, Nalissa Smith, who had a nice year for them a year ago. These auxiliary pieces behind the big four, they're going to have probably one or two of them every single night step up if they're going to want to be a team that is capable of winning a championship, which there's no reason to think they won't be, assuming the big four all stay healthy.
Knights tonight, not exactly in a back against the wall spot, but it's not a good spot to be in. Down 2-1 on the road. They need a win here. They're going against the Mammoth. They are a slight favorite at around -115, -120. I got the Mammoth at +105. What are we looking for here?
So game 3 was a little bit frustrating because Vegas, for about the first 8 minutes of the first period, were just flying around, looked awesome. All right, the energy's there. They're meeting the moment. First ever playoff game in Utah. That crowd was apparently nuts all the way through from the beginning.
Bunch of turncoats who turned in their cheap asses, turned in their long-standing, long fandom of the Vegas Golden Knights for their brand new Mammoth
for their free jerseys
sweaters.
or free sweaters, yeah. But after the first 8 minutes, they got destroyed. I mean, the Mammoth were clearly the better team the last 52 minutes of the game. And look, it's the playoffs. I don't want to say there's an effort issue because there isn't. It just, look, sometimes it happens. The avalanche, no pun intended, but sometimes an avalanche happens in a playoff hockey game. And it happened to them in that first period. 2 quick goals and you're down 2-0 and you got dominated basically the whole way. Look, just find a way to stretch it out. Like, don't burn the gas in the first 8 minutes and leave yourself with nothing left in the tank for the rest of that first period. I think we'll be able to tell by the end of the first period what this is going to be tonight. If this is an even game and it's even on the scoreboard as well, I think VGK finds a way to get it done here tonight. If not, look, you're in a 3-1 hole. I don't know what that crowd's going to look like on Wednesday if VGK goes down 3-1. Wouldn't shock me if it's a lot more light blue in T-Mobile on Wednesday.
Really? You think the Mammoth fans invade?
I think
Fortress?
I think it's possible. Hello. If it's 3-1, if it's 2-2, it won't happen. But if it's 3-1, I'd be a little bit worried of that happening. And again, I'm not saying like it's gonna be like, again, some Raider games that we saw these last few years, but it could be a lot more light blue than you would like to see in T-Mobile if the Mammoth win tonight. I think VGK finds a way to get it done. I think we'll get it. Again, I thought this was going to be a 6 or 7 game series regardless. VGK wins tonight. We're still on track for a VGK 7. Honestly, I think it'll be 7 at this point. If VGK wins tonight, they'll win 7.
Coverage begins shortly over on our sister station, Fox Sports Las Vegas. That's 94.7 FM and 1340 AM. If you're looking for a good spot to watch the game, Jackson's Bar and Grill. Excellent spot for a hometown hockey game. Top value steak in Vegas, $22 for the 1-pound ribeye or the garlic marinated bistro filet. Coolest thing. Well, they have the sound on. That's cool. A lot of bars don't do that. The game will be on at Jackson's 6020 West Flamingo and Jones. And if you're a gamer, they have giveaways that they do during the game, pass the puck and slap shots. You can win up to $775 in free play. It's Jackson's Bar and Grill for the hockey game tonight, 6020 West Flamingo. It's Flamingo and Jones. All right, Raiders. I hesitated there for a second. No good segue. I don't have, this is terrible sports talk radio.
Okay.
I don't have a super strong, over the top, amazing take on the Raiders draft haul.
What's wrong with it?
What I like, first of all, this is where I'm going to come in here. The GM made the picks.
Yes.
That is, what do I talk about all the time with the Raiders? Get the ship going in the right direction like real organizations do. The coach can't be making the picks. Okay? The GM's got to be in power. And this draft had the fingerprints of John Spytek all over it. And the other thing I got a kick out of was that while we have all these people guessing about what the Raiders are going to do, what they need, who they like, we knew Mendoza.
Sure.
We knew him at number 1. But number 2 pick, got to be a defensive tackle. Ken McDonald. Got to be an offensive lineman. Nope. Got to be a cornerback. Nope. They went with a guy that clearly they liked a lot. Others liked him. He was a fast riser at the end on some draft boards. but you get an idea. While I just said the GM is making the picks, the style of football here is going to be built around a 3-man front at times and an aggressive back end.
Yeah.
And you saw the clear theme here with who they took and then who they signed as UDFAs. They collected a boatload of defensive backs, starting with Traden Stukes out of Arizona. I like that there's a clear plan. Now, they may be wrong on all these guys.
Sure.
But it wasn't wishy-washy, and they didn't reach for a receiver and that was the one position I left out. People were dying for them to take a glamour receiver in that number 2 pick at, as it turned out, 38 because they traded down a couple of spots. But they had a mission here. We're going to build up the defense, and we're going to build it up on the back end. We're going to have a lot of competition, and we need cornerbacks and nickels and safeties of the future. And my guess is they're going to be attacking a lot with a 5-man defensive backfield.
Like the Stukes pick, by the way, very aggressive at the back end. And I guess Spytek likes the Arizona defensive backfield because he went back to it with Dalton Johnson in the 5th round with one of their 2 5s. The only thing I didn't like is I would have liked, and again, they addressed this a little bit in the UDFA market, but I would have liked a little more draft capital used on offensive line. They only used one pick on an offensive lineman. Yeah. They took Zune out of A&M, who played center in college, but will likely be a guard in the NFL. Jamad McCoy has the potential to be an absolute steal for the Raiders. Has the potential. It's a guy who has unbelievable talent, was mocked in the 1st round for a lot of mock season, and then the knee injury that it's not even the ACL, it's the bone around it. That's the issue. So that concerned the heck out of teams, but that is a very talented player to get a 101. So, and look, teams waste 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round picks all the time. So I like a pick like that, where you take a guy who's got a huge ceiling if he can stay healthy with the 1st pick of the 4th round. Again, I'm okay with them only taking one wide receiver, Benson in the 6th round, whatever. If he makes the roster, great. If not, so be it. But I'm with you. There is a clear, evident plan of what this team wants to be. And again, I know Raider fans want them to be, hey, they're going to the playoffs this year. It's not happening. It's not happening unless if something really wonky happens. And look, it's the NFL and weird things happen all the time. But realistically speaking, this is a 5 to 7 win team coming up this year. But you need to see them. They could go 5-12, and we could be doing this a year from now and be like, all right, they improved by only 2 games, but this team was probably the quality of an 8-9 win team by the end of the year, but they had a really difficult schedule. So let's see how it plays out. But all in all, they did very well. I mean, the draft experts loved their draft. I don't think I saw a Greg Lohr and an A- for the Raiders from any of the draft experts here this year, Cofield.
Yeah, we'll go through some of the grades and some of the publications and some of the things that were mentioned. Again, I'm not a big grade guy, but I want certain positions in the draft, and I want a direction of a franchise. And when Gruden was here, they were awful. They reached all the time. The year that we saw with Ziegler and McDaniels, that was terrible. We'll get into that because their terrible pick included Tyree Wilson, who got shipped out for a 5th round pick. He was the 7th pick in the draft. We'll go back on the 2023 draft and kind of relive some of that misery and what they missed out on. And now they just traded him for a 5th rounder. And, you know, again, like I said, I want a direction of the franchise. I want everyone to be in line, and it seems like they're all in line. A lot more on the draft. We'll go through each of the Raiders players that they selected over the last 3 days, well, Thursday through Saturday. We've got tickets to go see Sebastian Maniscalco. He's here Memorial Day weekend, coming up in about a month. He's playing Wynn, as he always does. It's his 100th show at Wynn. We got 2 tickets right now, 364-1100, 364-1100. AEG presents Sebastian Maniscalco. He's going to be at the Wynn for his 100th show. 2 tickets right now. Caller 7-364-1100.
Got something to say? Hit us up on the Bay Law text line. 702-364-1100. Brought to you by Bay Law Injury Attorneys. Winning is no accident.
If it's for the truck, give us a call, we've got it.
For the Truck is your premier truck shop. Our suspension experts will take your ride to the next level.
Steps, wheels,
bumpers, suspensions, tires, covers, accessories, liners, lifts installed. For the truck has it all.
Specializing in precision suspension tuning for sports cars, SUVs, and of course trucks. From high-end alignments to full suspension upgrades, we have everything you need.
If it's for the truck, give us a call. We've got it on 702-840-4400.
The LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas provides a range of health and wellness services in a safe and non-judgmental environment. You can get fast and comprehensive HIV testing, as well as screening for STIs for little to no cost. Appointments are recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Located in the heart of Las Vegas near downtown, the center also provides an on-site pharmacy. Get more information at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Spring into cash for betting sports on the William Hill mobile sports app. With the William Hill Cash Rewards program, you can earn up to $500 in cash. Earn spring rewards points for mobile wagers made until May 31st, win or lose. And you can earn even more spring rewards points for teasers, parlays, and same-game parlays. It's Cofield. You can find the bet you want by hitting the Quick Picks tab. Find those bets 10-1 or less, all the way up to the dream hit at over 60-1. Sign up for the William Hill mobile sports app today and opt in to enroll in spring rewards. To see participating locations, visit williamhill.us. Time for dinner, breakfast, a late night snack? Then Jackson's Bar and Grill is the place to be. Honored for having a top value steak in Las Vegas, Jackson's Bar and Grill at 6020 West Flamingo has a 1-pound ribeye for just $22. Or you can get the garlic marinated bistro filet. Same price, $22. You get veggies and your choice of a side. $22. That's insane. These steaks are awesome. During every hometown hockey game, it's pass the puck. It's your chance to win free play throughout the game. $5 happy hour all day, every day. It's Jackson's Bar and Grill, 6020 West Flamingo. It's Jackson's Bar and Grill on Flamingo and Jones.
Evan Cohen here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app, share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required, not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
Worried about your car payment? Don't be. Drive happy with a Westar Credit Union auto loan. Whether you are ready for something new or want to refinance your current ride, we've got you with affordable payments and easy approvals. Picture yourself behind the wheel, windows down, music up, on the road to what matters most. Apply today at westar.org or stop by your nearest branch. All loans are subject to approval. Terms and conditions apply. Must be a member to borrow. Membership requires a savings account with a minimum balance.
Terribles Tuesday just got bigger. Whoa. Download the free Terribles Plus Rewards app today and enjoy a new expanded menu of 40 items to choose from every Tuesday. For free. You heard that right. Absolutely free. So no matter which one of you walks in, you can guarantee that you'll walk out with exactly what you're craving. Delicious. Terribles Tuesday, exclusively on the Terribles Plus Rewards app. Your daily routine rewarded deliberately different.
ZipZap Auto has expanded into one of the largest independent auto repair shops in the Valley. With 23 bays, over 12,000 square feet, ZipZap is your one-stop shop. Offering smog tests, oil changes, detailing, bodywork, and engine and transmission rebuilding. Plus, ZipZap provides free towing and diagnostics with qualifying repairs. No appointment necessary. ZipZap Auto on Cheyenne and North Durango Drive and online at zipzapauto.com.
Hey, Jeff, how's the new job working out?
Really sucks. Terrible boss and the paycheck is even worse. I gotta get a new job.
Truck you.
Wait, what?
Truck you.
You don't have to curse at me.
Dude, you should check out Truck You CDL training. My brother got his CDL license in 4 weeks and now he has a new career making great money.
Okay, I'm listening.
Truck You offers small classes with night and weekend times available. They will even help with payment programs. Check them out. LV.com. Truck You.
Hey, Las Vegas, are you tired of plumbing prices that break the bank? At 365 Plumbing, we're bringing fair pricing back. Family owned and operated, we treat your home like it's our own. For your everyday plumbing needs, we're here 365 days a year, rain or shine, day or night. Extend the life of your water heater right now. For a limited time, take advantage of our water heater flush special for only $26. Visit us at 365plummingnv.com. 365 Plumbing, because where the water flows, 365 Plumbing goes.
Breaking news for your home. Wayday is here. It's Wayfair's big sale, where you can score the best deals in home, like up to 80% off with free shipping on everything. plus surprise flash deals all Way Day long. You won't find better deals for your home anywhere else. We're talking furniture, decor, rugs, and more, all at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Way Day. So don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Way Day now through April 27th to score the best deals in home.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Modelo is an official cerveza of the Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste, brewed with fighting spirit since 1925. It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
Kicking off another week here with Cofield and Company. Got Knights action tonight. We'll get into the A's towards the end of the show. Maybe a recap of the Mets, huh? How about that? Rockies and Mets.
I'm good, Cofield.
Good times. You're good. You can't squeeze it in the 3 hours. All right, Jeff Parles across the way, busting his chops. Like I mentioned, Knights. We got Aces opener, exhibition opener coming up on Sunday, season opener, and then second game, home and road as they play next Saturday, 2 weeks from now, 2 Saturdays from now, and then Sunday, Phoenix, and then LA. Parles across the way. James is running the show. We were just talking about the Raiders draft hall, so let's actually go through the names. Who the Raiders selected in the draft. Everyone knows about Fernando Mendoza going number 1. Number 2 comes up. They trade out of 36. A lot of people wanted Cade McDonald there. Well, he goes to the Texans. Denzel Boston was available, right? Right there. They didn't take him. They take Traden Stukes, who, as I mentioned 10 minutes ago, was a fast riser up the board. He's a guy who can play safety, probably play nickel. After that, they went edge with Crawford from Auburn. You mentioned Trey Zune, Texas A&M, listed as an offensive guard. He went 3rd round, number 91. Q Myers this morning, I was over with Q with Mike Davis at Triple SEN doing their Sin City Sports Beat. Q thought there were 2 day 1 starters in this draft for the Raiders. He thinks that the offensive lineman is the second starter. Well, let me correct that because he didn't say day 1 starter. I assume he meant Mendoza at some point during the season, but maybe he meant Stukes and Zune. But anyway, the offensive lineman he thinks is going to start.
Well, Stukes is absolutely a day 1 starter. I think there's no doubt 100% he's in there.
All right.
Now, this goes back to the depth question of the offensive line, right, Cofield? Like, are you going to have a 3rd round pick be one of your starting guards on opening day? Probably you hope not, but if he has a great training camp, then you can at least justify it. It's probably not a great look for JPJ if that's the case. But
I want competition. The line was not up to snuff a year ago.
No, it was terrible a year ago, obviously. I mean, that's the reason. That's the main reason they were as bad as they were on offense last year. They couldn't block anybody. Couldn't block anyone. And
Geno Smith was spooked from the beginning.
Yeah, he had no chance. And he made it worse, but it was mostly because that offensive line was horrific. And look, I think you look at the other guys. I mean, Crawford, the edge that they took in the 3rd round, you would hope is a rotational piece. 3rd down packages where you can rush the passer and bring heat. He's not a bad guy to have. Again, McCoy is the gamble, but I thought it was a great gamble at that point in the draft where he's healthy. You might end up with a guy who plays a whole bunch at the corner position.
There were 2 different high-level draft experts that actually had Herman McCoy as the 10th or 11th best player in the draft.
Yeah, again, the talent.
Mel Kiper had him as the number 29 player in the draft. He went 101. Now, do you want to talk about what the injury is?
Again, the injury.
We're not doctors, but
we're definitely not doctors. He had ACL surgery. That seemed to be fine, but it's the bone around the ACL that is the issue, where they had to go back in again, and he missed all last year. So he is an unbelievable talent. It's just a matter of, can he get on the field? And if he does, this could turn into quite a boon for the Raiders. And you know what? If it doesn't work, guess what? It's a 4th round pick.
Yeah.
Teams whiff on more 4th round picks than making good 4th round picks. Again, I don't know what Mike Washington, the running back out of Arkansas, is going to be. I don't know what type of role you end up with. Again, maybe a 3rd down back, but quite frankly, I want a Genty on the field as much as possible. And then look, once you get 5th round and beyond, I mean, if you whiff on those picks, I mean, are you really holding that against anyone? If you whiff on 5th round and beyond, no. That's one of those where if you find a player that can make an impact, you hit the jackpot. So
they went another defensive back in Dalton Johnson, then another defensive back in Masses from Cal, a wide receiver in Benson from Oregon, then a DT from NC State. Do you buy what some people were saying about this draft, that round 6 and 7 got a little unpredictable? Is not, because I don't like saying thin, that there was a lot more rolling of the dice because the draft has lost some depth because kids are going back and playing for money, which, by the way, is a mixed message. If we want to tell kids that education is of utmost importance, you realize when they go back to school, they get more education. So, and the NFL should actually like guys coming into the league when they're 22 and 23 and 24 rather than 21 and 22.
Well, yeah, but then but then they're too old to play long term in the NFL. I mean, it's
are they really?
Again, I don't buy that, but that's what the teams think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, let's be real. We're all guessing once we get to the 6th round anyway, right?
We are. I don't know if I'm not going to say all NFL teams are.
I mean,
some are.
Some are. I would say more than half of them probably are. So, it was a thinner draft to begin with this year. Next year's the loaded, insane classes, especially at the top. Where I mean, next year. Let's think about this for a second. Like next year, there are 5 quarterbacks who will probably go in the first round, even though one of them was in the news today, and I never bought the guy who was in the news today was a first round pick.
I listened to Cowherd this morning.
Yeah.
And he and J-Mac had 9 guys going in the first round.
9 quarterbacks.
It was like out of control. Well, he was Cowherd started pushing Julian Sayin.
Yeah, he's not.
He freaking. He's heard from someone that really likes him. Hey, you know what? Don't discount anything. All you need is one less Snead, and Ty Simpson gets drafted. I think there were more than less Snead, but you get my point. But on next year's draft, no. In terms of big names, it appears to be loaded. I'll tell you what. In this week, let's spend some time handicapping and making some bets. We can make these year-long bets on which quarterbacks will actually go in the first round. Because I love when they project quarterbacks a year out, and then you look the next year and you're like, "Whoa, okay, that wasn't even close."
Here's all I'll say:
Arch Manning, that is a virtual lock.
There are 2 guys who I feel confident will be first round quarterbacks next year. You just mentioned one of them. Where if Arch Manning is good, Arch Manning's going to be the first pick in the NFL draft in 2027. If he's good this upcoming year, and I think he's going to be. But again, I said by the end of last year, I thought he was the second best quarterback in the country the last month plus. So only Mendoza was better. And then Dante Moore, assuming Dante Moore.
Okay, look at you.
Assuming Dante Moore leaves Oregon, he's good. I mean, Dante Moore is going to be the 2nd overall pick this year if he went out. Like the Jets are going to take him.
Dante Moore was mentioned on that same conversation on Herd, and because he had an odds board of most likely number 1 pick, and Dante Moore was the second choice for the number 1 pick, and he said that was a terrible bet. Not that Arch Manning's not. I think he was taking Arch Manning out of it. That Dante Moore has no chance.
I don't agree. Like
you're right. He was going to be a top 5.
He was going to be again. I don't think Dante Moore is as good as some people think, but the NFL teams are going to fawn over the talent that's there. And then the other one is Lenora Sellers, who again had a really down year for South Carolina last year, but still is projected to go in round 1. I think those would be the 3 that are definitely going to fight.
On the way back, I want to talk about, sorry, Jeff. On the way back, I want to talk about the quarterbacks that were selected in this draft. I think one team that took a quarterback needs to come up with a plan here because right now it's really freaking wishy-washy.
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports USA, and we head to the Sunshine State as the Montreal Canadiens come down to Tampa Bay for Game 5 against the Lightning. Braden Point and the Bolts are clinical when the pressure is on. Juraj Slafkovsky and the Habs are hungry for the upset.
Slafkovsky, he scores! It's a hat trick!
It's Montreal at Tampa Bay this Wednesday on your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup, Sports USA.
Listen to the game on 12:30 The Game, Wednesday afternoon.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first wager. It's Cofield. The William Hill mobile sports app makes it easy for you to bet on the go from anywhere in the state of Nevada 24/7. Sign up today and you'll never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the William Hill mobile sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. Click on Quick Parlays for fresh bets daily.
For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us.
The Richard Harris Law Firm. No one knows Nevada like we do. Say Nevada and people think entertainment and gaming. But living here is like anywhere else. When everyday people get injured, they don't want to gamble. They call us. 444-4444.
Big news, Las Vegas. Les Olson IT has moved to a bigger, better facility to serve you like never before. Our new space means more technology, more service, and more solutions, all designed with you in mind. Plus, we're hiring. If you're ready to grow with a company that values innovation and community, join our team today. Proudly serving Las Vegas for 23 years and counting. Les Olson IT, your business better.
Les Olson IT.
For 30 years, the LGBTQ Center of Nevada has been a safe and welcoming place to celebrate and serve the entire community. The center advocates for the empowerment and safety of everyone. It provides wellness services for better mental, physical, and holistic health. And the center connects people to the community. Learn more at thecenterlv.com. Sponsored by Great Sands Corporation, aired in coalition with the Broadcasters Association station.
Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
Big stuff coming up on Cofield and Company over the course of the next month or so. We're going to be on the road in May for a beer release party and live show. That'll be at Nevada Brew Works, our friends at Nevada Brew Works, with locations in the Arts District and also Boca Park. We're going to be at the Boca Park location. These are family-friendly breweries, more than just beer. You can get the award-winning cocktails, brick oven pizza, half-price steaks every Sunday, and also on the late-night happy hour. So the reverse happy hour, 9 to 11, Sunday through Thursday, those half-price steak special, or that half-price steak special is good to go. Get outdoor games on the dog-friendly patio. They're pouring at Boca Park, have been for a while, and we'll be out there on May 14th with a beer release party. We're going to come up with a Pilsner, a Cofield Pilsner. We need a name. Let's go. Let's get the name going. I sent over a bunch of name suggestions. We'll come up with something. But ESPN Las Vegas will be on the road in May. But get over there before that. Boca Park or the Arts District. It is Nevada Brew Works. You guys just jumped what I was going to go to. I teased before we went to break that I wanted to talk about all the quarterbacks who were drafted. And one organization that drafted a quarterback, I'm not saying this guy is guaranteed or is the future, but I think it gives them enough young quarterback stock. The Steelers took Drew Aller at 76. The Steelers and Mike McCarthy need to make a decision here. It's okay to suck this year. And I'm sorry that you still have TJ Watt and you have Hayward, and maybe those are trade candidates. I think they should have traded him already. I like Aaron Rodgers a lot. I know many people don't. He was okay last year. They're not going anywhere. You made a change with Mike Tomlin. McCarthy is signed for a long-term deal. And if McCarthy's not on board, then I don't know. I'm not going to fire him, but he needs to know that, hey, this year, even though there's a bunch of old guys on the team, veterans, this is not about winning. I think they need to take a chance on both of the quarterbacks they have. Not Mason Rudolph. He stinks. We know.
Oh, come on.
He stinks. No, they need to get Will Howard and Aller out there and play them all year and see what happens. And I think most Steeler fans would be on board with, hey, let's try to get this thing going in the right direction. Find out if we have a quarterback. And you just mentioned next year is a quarterback-rich draft. Then be in a position to draft a quarterback. But you just spent on Aller, you spent on Will Howard last year. Play them. Enough Aaron Rodgers.
I don't understand why they have allowed Rodgers to do this again. It just doesn't make any sense. He's not good enough at this point in his career to justify this. Yeah. He's just not. And he was fine last year. He was fine. Mm-hmm. He was a mid-tier quarterback and had a disastrous playoff game against Houston to end it. But, I don't disagree with you because, again, I don't think Will Howard's an NFL quarterback, but I don't
know if either one is.
I want
him to play.
Exactly. I don't know if he is. Aller, again, if Penn State, going into last year, Penn State was a legitimate national championship contender, and Aller was, hey, if this season goes right, he could be the first pick in the draft. That was a legitimate conversation that was had by a lot of people going into last year. Obviously, it did not work out at all, but he's talent. Aller's always had talent. He's just never put it fully together, and Penn State quarterbacks obviously do not have a good history in the league. But if I'm them, enough with Aaron Rodgers already. Like, it's too long. That's it. And
I think we know what's happening here, Jeff. I mean, Tomlin went on NBC yesterday and said, "Gun to my head, I think AR is coming back." So he's coming back.
Yeah,
They're not. Don't
Godspeed then.
Don't believe for 1 second that the Steelers are waiting around. They have an agreement. Unless something is crazy, he's coming back. But I think it's the wrong way to go. And I'm with you on Aller. I don't want to make this into 5 minutes about Drew Aller, but he is a very talented guy. He's got the prototypical size for the NFL. He was with a coach that had 1 foot out the door, and he also got hurt.
Yeah.
He needed a transfer. That was a good example of a guy at a major program that needed to get the hell out and go get some new quarterback tutoring. By the way, this guy over here, sitting there on Saturday watching the spring showcase, I'm pointing in the direction of the east because we're on the west side, but Dan Mullen is the kind of guy you go and play for. I'm not saying Drew Aller needed to drop down, no insult to UNLV, but to play for Dan Mullen. But that's the kind of guy he needed to move on from James Franklin, and he'd be in a much better position. But hey, listen, this is not a bad position. This is a quarterbackless franchise, and Aller should get a chance, and Will Howard should get a chance.
Keep up with the company.
Let's talk about NBA arena and stadium projects here, because we like to talk about that every week. And a new one is being pitched. It's called the Star Stadium Arena Ecosystem. I don't know if you saw this one, but it's down at Star and the 50,000 seat covered soccer concert venue, retractable roof, views of the Las Vegas Strip. What do you think of this one?
It's ridiculous. It's not going to happen. But here's the thing. Beyond that, you need an arena. You don't need a retractable roof.
Catch Cofield and Company weekdays starting at 3.
We're chatting with our guest, always safety first, 811 Megaphone Man.
Call 811 before you dig.
You never stray from your mission of letting homeowners, landscapers, and excavators know you should always call 811 before you dig.
Call 811.
Call for both small and big jobs. And 2 working days in advance?
811.
Any parting words? And I'm guessing they will be.
Call 811 before you dig.
Brought to you by Southwest Gas.
811.
William Hill Sportsbook is your home court, home ice, and home field for April sports betting action. Build your lineup with a same-game parlay for a shot at a big payout. Don't forget, William Hill Sportsbooks have a deep betting menu for golf each week, too. Sign up today for a new William Hill mobile account and get your first bet matched up to $250 instantly. Play more, get more, opt in for spring rewards, and get up to $500 cash back. Hundreds of deposit locations as far north as Jackpot and to the south in Laughlin. Visit williamhill.us for details. Hey, it's Cofield. The official local brewery of Cofield & Company is Nevada Brew Works. 2 locations. You want to check out the new Boca Park spot where I'll be doing a live show in May because I'm brewing my own beer with my pals at Nevada Brew Works. On May 14th at Nevada Brew Works, you'll get to try my Spring Pilsner. Mark it down.
Collectors, Front Row Card Show is back at the Rio Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas on May 2nd and 3rd. Biggest show ever. Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey cards. Plus Pokemon, Marvel, Star Wars, and comic books. Beckett, CGC, and JSA will be there. So bring your cards, comics, and autographs to sell, trade, or get them graded. 600 vendors, including Chumley from TV's Pawn Stars. Thousands of dollars in free prizes. Don't miss it. Front Row Card Show, Rio Hotel and Casino. Saturday and Sunday, May 2nd and 3rd, 11 to 5. For more info, go to frontrowcardshow.com. That's frontrowcardshow.com.
Right here in our backyard, sellers trust Purple Wave Auction to move their equipment, from excavators and ag equipment to trucks and specialty trailers. Our no-reserve online auctions help local sellers turn iron into opportunity. You get a dedicated territory manager who knows your operation, your market, and your timeline, backed by nationwide buyer demand, local service, national reach, real results. See why more sellers choose Purple Wave. Visit purplewave.com to get started today.
Harry Douglas here. Let me ask you something. What if you can enjoy the taste of a cocktail, the warmth of a spirit, and still stay fully in control? That's RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category. RK delivers bold flavor and a real warming sensation with 0 alcohol, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and 0 calories. Perfect for nights out, social gatherings, or anytime you want the experience of a drink without sacrificing tomorrow. Check it out at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, all the flavor, none of the alcohol.
Power Shift by NV Energy is all about taking savings to the next level. Check it out. These products and services save energy and money. There are discounts and rebates on energy-efficient devices and free smart thermostats. Take savings to the next level at nvenergy.com/powershift. PowerShift by NV Energy. This is what we do.
When you need cash, how quickly can LendingStore.com connect you to a lender faster than this commercial? Whether you need cash for a medical bill, groceries, or rent, LendingStore.com's network of lenders makes it quick and easy. In less time than this ad, you can fill out a few fields at LendingStore.com and find out if a lender can get you $500 to $5,000 as early as tomorrow. So visit LendingStore.com today for details. See website for details. Lending Store is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Terribles Tuesday just got bigger! Whoa. Download the free Terribles Plus Rewards app today and enjoy a new expanded menu of 40 items to choose from every Tuesday for free! You heard that right! Absolutely free! So no matter which one of you walks in, you can guarantee that you'll walk out with exactly what you're craving. Delicious. Terribles Tuesday, exclusively on the Terribles Plus Rewards app. Your daily routine rewarded deliberately different.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a hospitality manager at a 5-star hotel.
So I just checked into room 318, but someone was in there. Room 318. Oh, you were supposed to be booked in 813, which is now booked. So what do we do? How about rock, paper, scissors for who gets the bid?
This is the time for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hey, Las Vegas, are you tired of plumbing prices that break the bank? At 365 Plumbing, we're bringing fair pricing back. Family owned and operated, we treat your home like it's our own. For your everyday plumbing needs, we're here 365 days a year, rain or shine, day or night. Extend the life of your water heater right now. For a limited time, take advantage of our water heater flush special for only $26. Visit us at 365plummingnv.com. 365 Plumbing, because where the water flows, 365 Plumbing goes.
This sports update is brought to you by Dollar Loan Center. Get up to $5,000 in minutes at Dollar Loan Center. Free to apply, and new customers enjoy 1 week of free interest on their first loan. Visit don'tbebroke.com.
Raiders' #1 pick, Fernando Mendoza, from his introductory presser.
I feel like I still need to earn it, and I haven't proved anything. My college career was very blessed, and it was a great, very significant career. However, in the NFL, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole again, so I'm really looking forward to proving it every single day to everybody in the building.
Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
There's a lot of good stuff going on today. Cofield and Company. I was just watching during the break a 3-minute video on Darren Waller talking about Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini. So we'll get to that with Steve Kim in less than 5 minutes. But other stuff to get to, Steve, on this Monday. How are you, buddy? Oh, I thought he was here. I thought he was ready to go. Okay, my bad. Irresponsible lead-in, not focused. Okay, let's. What we're going to start with Steve is this Brendan Sorsby story. So intro the story to the audience and what's going on with the former Cincy quarterback, former Indiana quarterback too, right?
Yes.
Indiana to Cincy to Texas Tech, which if you're at Texas Tech, that means you are amongst the 4 or 5 most coveted quarterbacks. I was going to say free agent, but portal quarterbacks. This was a big buy for Texas Tech. They have a lot on the line, and now Sorsby is where?
He is in a gambling addiction program. And this was a shock when I saw this morning. And Sorsby's checked into a residential treatment program for gambling addiction that was announced by Texas Tech this morning after it was reported all over the place. I don't know if this comes after the fact that the NCAA is investigating Sorsby's gambling, where there was a whole bunch of reports out there today ranging all over the map. According to the Thamel article on it, Sorsby bet on Indiana football while redshirting for the Hoosiers as a true freshman in 2022, which, by the way, that was clearly not a winning proposition anyway with what Indiana was in 2022. He only played 1 game. All of the bets that he made were on Indiana to win, and none of them came in a game that Sorsby appeared in. And then there was a report from On3 earlier today as well that had Sorsby basically micro betting on Reds games on very, very, very like tiny bets, like $1 or $2 on will the next pitch be a ball or a strike. So that's,
it's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. So yeah, from On3, Sorsby attended Reds games on repeated occasions and placed live wagers on balls and strikes. That was Pete Nakos who reported that. The bets ranged from anywhere from $2.50 to less than $1 a pitch. So, look, I don't want to get cynical here because there's a lot of things to get cynical with, especially the publicity around sports betting has gotten significantly worse especially over the last few months. And it really, I would say, hit its crescendo with that piece from The Atlantic a few weeks ago, which spurred quite the debate amongst professional bettors.
Pause for a second.
Yeah.
Because we haven't talked about this one either.
Yeah.
The piece in The Atlantic, to me, seemed very orchestrated.
Oh, it was 100% orchestrated.
Very panic-driven, very agenda-driven, like they were trying to go to a certain destination.
It was,
which is gambling is a problem.
Yeah, it was to me, and I don't want to throw the people of Utah under the bus, even though I know you have no issue with that when Cofield, but that felt like it was a manipulated thing,
right,
by McKay Coppins, who wrote the piece, where he was very strategic over the first portion of it, and he was even based off the article, until he basically just decided, I'm just going to be ridiculous.
Right.
And it was, to me, it felt very disingenuous from the writer and the publication to throw that out there. Now, some of the response from people in gambling Twitter has been completely over the top and idiotic, but whatever.
How so?
I don't know. I think the one point that article was trying to make, but got to it in a very poor way, is that a lot of people are going out there and betting without a clue. And I think that is true. I think there are a ton of people who go out there and bet without a clue. And I think a lot of people who are too close to the sun on that don't quite understand that, look, there are a lot of people that will bet and just on a whim.
Right.
There's no research done by a lot of people that bet sports at this point. And I think and that's always been the case. It's just that it's more mainstream now.
In general, gambling, people gamble on a whim. Yeah. Isn't that all vices?
I would say
to a certain extent.
Yeah, I would say so. 100%.
Like
not 100%, but close to it.
How many dudes can't wrap up or just get out of the situation at the very end? I'll try to put it nicely. And women, it's like, is every kid a wanted kid? I mean, there's lots of things in life that people do on whims.
Yeah,
and I listen. I'm strongly in favor of. I live in Nevada for a reason.
Yeah,
I don't need my life legislated. And when I make a mistake, I can own the mistake.
Sure.
I can also learn from mistakes.
Yeah.
So I have self-control. Vices aren't going to overwhelm me, and if they do, they do. I don't need someone to come in and protect me.
Well, and I think that's the other point too. Like, again, there's been legalized sports betting in Europe forever. And yeah, there are some people that are going to have issues.
Mm-hmm. And there are athletes who are going to do what Brendan Sorsby does. And guess what? There are clearly stated rules. And again, if you don't know who Brendan Sorsby is, he was a quarterback at Cincinnati. He was on the market as a transfer portal player. He landed at Texas Tech for immense money. Cincinnati's suing him for $1 million. We started to see some stories come out about, some gambling comments, ties here and there. And now it's been announced that he's going into rehab for a gambling addiction. The rules are you can't gamble.
Yeah.
As an athlete, that's it. There's nothing the NCAA can do from here. Will he play in the NFL? Maybe. Will he ever play college football again? I don't know. I don't think he's playing this year. Frankly, I don't think Texas Tech should bank on him playing this year. I was already looking up, who the backups were.
They're in big trouble
because they have a guy Will Hammond who played at least,
but he's going to be on the shelf for a month.
They have a redshirt Frosh and a true Frosh.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I don't know if you looked at any of the odds the last couple of weeks on futures for conferences. When we were getting ready to talk to Ray Cleaver, we never got to it last week, but I was looking at William Hill's odds for conference by conference, the winner. Texas Tech for the Big 12 was minus 175. Minus 175 to win a conference
in April.
In a conference that has 5,000 teams that all throw the ball over the yard, that has money and great quarterbacks. It ain't minus 175 now.
Nah,
I'll
they
check. I guarantee it's got to be off the board now.
They shouldn't have been that anyway, because Oklahoma State essentially brought a North Texas team in that won 11 games last year.
But you got the point, though.
Yeah.
Texas Tech has the biggest, if not the biggest, a top 3 or 4 budget in all of college football.
They might have number one at this point.
They now expect to win and compete for national championships. This guy is at the top of the heap of transfer portal quarterbacks, and he may not be available. In all likelihood, I don't know how he's going to get out of this.
I would be very surprised if he's available from the get-go. There might be some agreement where he ends up getting suspended for the first month and then you see him, but who knows? Who knows? Because it's pretty cut and dry. I mean, if you remember this with the kid from Iowa State, Deckers, a few years ago, he turned up in NAIA. So like I think there's a very, very narrow path for Sorsby to get on the field with just this. Like, you can't do it. You can't bet on collegiate sports. You can't bet on pro sports. If you're a college athlete, you can't do it. So,
by the way, Texas Tech still on the board to win the title at 13-1.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were last week. They had to be higher. So I'm guessing, what's it, ninth choice?
Even with Sorsby, that's insane.
Notre Dame, Texas, Ohio State. Well, the first thing is you got to get on the dance floor. And if they can win the Big 12, they're on the dance floor. But
sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
13-1.
Notre Dame, Texas, Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, Georgia, LSU. That's high. Miami. And then after Texas Tech, A&M, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, USC.
Texas is the best team in the country going in, by the way. Just so I have that on record.
Okay. Second choice at 650.
I'm sure Texas will go 9-3 now that they've said that, but at least on paper, they're the best team in the country.
But this is the beginning. Here's the other thing. You mentioned Hunter Deckers. That was part of a long, and that was a criminal investigation. That was part of a long investigation.
Yeah.
This is probably not exactly the beginning. I'm guessing he's getting out in front of news that he's heard. Like there's already something working, but I don't know if it rises to the level of criminality.
It doesn't the early reporting doesn't seem like it's criminal activity, but you know what? It's against NCAA rules.
Watch what happens, though.
Yeah.
But you watch what happens the next couple weeks. People are going to, I already saw it. People were combing over games from the past and looking for signs that, he was shaving points or, poor play. What was the score of the game? Did they cover? And I'm not going to say, I don't know if it happened. Listen, I'm very much behind supporting sports gambling, but there are people who do get in too deep. And when you're in a position to affect the game and control the results or destiny of a game, I don't know if this kid fell way in debt. This is the beginning to me. But what it means is I don't see him playing this year.
But then that whole report from On3 makes it even more bizarre. Like, you're not going to make the money back betting 50 cents on will the next pitch be a ball or
well, how recent was the Reds betting last year?
That I did not see a year on the reporting.
Yeah.
I would imagine it was 2020, 2024 based off the timeline of everything here. But that's still, I mean, come on. Like there's no such thing as bet size shaming in my book, but like, you're not going to make it back betting $1 on something that's plus 150, plus 180. Like, you're just not going to.
Okay. Another angle.
Yeah.
To your knowledge of the rules.
Yeah.
We will have I'm going to put you on the spot here, and I should know it. I should have looked it up. I thought about this on the right in. To your knowledge of the rules, the players that graduate coming up, right?
Okay.
Spring semester is done.
Okay.
Can you still go into the portal as a grad?
I have no idea. I have no clue. Now,
if that is possible, every program in the country that has a graduating senior, like he's got his degree, it's coming up here in May or early June, watch your ass or watch his. Because if Texas Tech has any opportunity to go out and steal someone who could, now I'm going on a limb here, but if that's a possibility, how ugly could this get?
Very.
Let's put that on the shelf and we'll look it up.
Very.
Right? We'll look it up because I don't the portal doesn't always have that definitive end that we think it does, especially in the past with graduates.
And this also complicates is because if Hammond was healthy week one,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure that this would be a potential full-blown panic for Texas Tech if Sorsby wasn't able to play at all. But the fact that Hammond is, I mean, Joey McGuire's has already said, like, week 3 is the earliest we see him. Now, actually, hold on. Let's see who Texas Tech plays the first 2 weeks. Can they survive? I would imagine they can survive their first 2 games without a real quarterback. Yeah, they probably can. Abilene Christian, yeah, our guy James probably could play quarterback for that team and they'd win. And then they go to Corvallis to play Oregon State. So you're probably winning the first 2 games, regardless of who's playing quarterback. But then week 3, you play Houston. So that's not an easy game, despite the fact that game's at Lubbock.
Looking up the rule, quick look at it for that graduate thing. For 2026, football graduates in May and June cannot enter the transfer portal during those months.
Interesting.
Months that they've whittled it down to a single 15-day transfer window that was back January 2nd to the 16th. I still feel like there could be a loophole.
But couldn't you, in theory, say you graduated, so I'm just leaving and giving up the scholarship and I'm walking on somewhere else?
Well, I thought that's what some of the penalties they were proposing were designed for.
No, I know, but how quickly can those get in? Realistically speaking.
I mean, if I'm Texas Tech, I'm looking at every angle possible to steal
100%.
someone's senior quarterback who's graduating.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't even know if it's legal. I would love to see it go to court. Let's keep testing this. The NCAA loses every time in court.
Pretty much.
And I'm going to make a joke about something that was not funny, but the other thing is Jake Retzlaff is not walking through that door. Because that was a wild situation at BYU, very unique, where he violated the honor code but had been cleared of charges. They weren't going to let him play for 8 games, and he said, I'm out of here, and then he got his eligibility to play at Tulane, and Tulane wound up having a good season. And Retzlaff signed with someone, didn't he? I forget who it was.
Isn't he still at Tulane?
I thought he signed a
No, he's still there.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah.
He had 2 years left?
He's at least got one more.
Okay. I don't know. Now I'm in his fever pitch search.
He is a redshirt senior now, so
wow.
he's got one more year.
I don't know anyone's eligibility.
Making it up as we go, right?
Well, you don't know. You don't. Guys are listed as sophomores, have 4 years left. By the way, there could be 5 for 5 soon.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a rule that Texas Tech is rooting for? Let's go 5 for 5.
Yeah.
Come on now. All right, 4:00 hours on the way. These are wild times. This is not a happy story. We're not laughing about Brendan Sorsby, an elite quarterback, having a gambling issue. I hope he gets clear of that at some point.
Sunday evening baseball. A great way to unwind and get ready for the week. This Sunday, we've got the Rangers at the Tigers at 4 on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM.
Brought to you by Finley Toyota. We're here for you.
Plumbers, HVAC techs, contractors, and DIYers. McFadden Dale Industrial Hardware has the tools,